Welcome to Redvee TV, supported by Chapel House for the 2023 season. 2 episodes in 2 days, Kevin, but we are back because Saints have just announced in the last few minutes the surprise signing of Matt Whitley.
I am shocked. I didn't see this one coming.
I was seeing social media this week. I thought it had fell through.
Yeah, it's been a long time being announced, this one, I think, hasn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? I'm kind of glad that we've kept our powder dry. I know other clubs announce a lot of their signings early. Some of it prematurely, I would say. I wasn't really impressed with Warrington having Wes Bruins posing in Warrington club gear in the days before we played him. I thought that was a bit off. I'm not a fan of signings for the following season getting announced in May and June when they've got half a season left of the clubs. I like how Saints have quietly gone about the business, even if it is the most common knowledge in rugby league, and just been professional and allowed Matt to concentrate on the end of season with the Catalan Dragons, get that out the way, and then announce it at the later date. At the end of the day, so long as he runs on that field in February, Kevin, why do we need to announce it 2 months earlier, as long as the ink is on the paper?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's probably been a done deal for quite some time now, hasn't it? And as you say, as long as it's all done and he's here for pre-season, then it doesn't matter when we actually announce it. I know fans like it, and it does create a little bit of a buzz around signing news. But when it comes to the nuts and bolts of it, he's here. He's a Saints player. And hopefully he can carry the form that has got him into England night squads and got Catalan to a couple of grand finals and the likes. Hopefully he can carry that over to Saints.
Yeah, he is one of the best back rows in Super League. I almost feel like he's gone under the radar a lot. And I don't know whether that's because he's been based down in the south of France with Catalan for so long, but he's been there 5 years. 103 appearances. He's won a league leaders shield, 2 grand final appearances, and 35 tries, which is a 1 in 3 strike rate. That's not bad going.
No, it's not bad going at all. And he's a St. Helens fan as well, isn't he? So the fact that he's coming over here, he's going to want to do himself justice in the shirt. But as you say, it's a good strike rate try-wise. And he's just one of them players who seemingly gets about his business without much fuss. We've had quite a few problems with injuries and suspensions this year. And if he's one of them, I don't want to just call him a steady Eddie, but if he's someone who can put together a good 20-odd appearances over the next season, then he's going to have been a great signing for us.
Yeah, he strikes me as somebody a little bit in the Joe Batch mould. And it creates a headache for Wello next season, doesn't it? I think he spoke about it in the interview that's gone out on the club website. That we've got competition for players. We have got a fair amount of back rowers. It may see Sione move in and play prop a little bit next season, but given the injury problems that we've had this year and the disciplinary issues we've also had, then you can't have enough, can you?
Yeah, that's it. There's 3 spots there when you count the loose forward as well. And I know James Bell and Morgan Knowles are the ones who are the current incumbents of that 13 shirt. But we've had James Roby playing there and fitting in when needed kind of last season. Without James Roby there, you need another player who can go in there, because we've got Iggy Parsi still out. We've had Alex Walmsley out for quite a bit of this season. Joe Batchelor's had his injury problems. Curtis Sirenen's had his injury problems. We've had suspension problems on top of that. So it's almost like the more the merrier in the pack. And if it keeps people fresher, if it keeps people hungrier, it's got to be good for us.
Yeah, he obviously played 100 times for the Widnes Vikings as well. Got nominated for the Super League's Young Player of the Year in 2016. So there's always been a talent there, and he'll kick off next season, turns 28 in January. He hopefully has still got the best few years of his career ahead of him. He's a good age.
Yeah, he is. That's it. He's bringing experience as well. I know we like bringing youngsters through the academy and straight into the first team and kind of having that type of player there as well. He's gone the long way round. But bringing that experience...
I bet he didn't go via Dublin
and... it's just gone via witness, hasn't he? I think this just goes. It smacks me as a good sign in this, as a properly good, experienced second rower coming in, who, when we are struggling in the forwards, will get through a load of work. As you say, can score tries if needed be. I don't necessarily want to see him there, but if needed be during the game, can fit into the centres. I think it's a really, really smart deal.
Yeah. I didn't realise that he was actually on our scholarship books at one point, well, until he was 14 or 15. Obviously had to go elsewhere. And I think that's the sign of someone who's hungry for it. Doesn't take... I don't know what the situation was at the time, whether we weren't sure anymore and he already got offered a better deal at Widnes, but he went to Widnes and he kicked on, and he's, I was going to say, part of the Widnes mafia. I know he's obviously from born in Billings, lived in Newton, Sports Saints, but the Widnes conveyor belt that they've put out over the last few years, we've certainly reaped the rewards from it.
We certainly have. Well, the best of us born in Billings, by the way.
Which side though?
What do you mean, which side? There was only one hospital there.
I've just upset half the people watching this, haven't I?
Yeah, it doesn't say that on my passport anyway. I forgot what you said now because we've gone into the Billings discourse.
The Widnes mafia.
Well, yeah, I think we are. It's a shame for Widnes as a club that they aren't full-time, aren't Super League, and can't reap the benefits. But if it's a not untapped area, but if it's an area that is good for us in bringing players through as well as St Helens and picking the odd player up from Wigan and picking the odd player up from the Warrington areas. Listen, you've got to get into that resource, and it's doing as well at the minute, isn't it? It's done as well in the past.
Listen, if Widnes are going to be a community club and we're going to be there, well, they're going to be our feeder for the Super League. I don't see why we haven't started putting a supporters bus on from there and selling Saint shirts in Widnes Market.
Oh, I'm not sure that would go down too well, but
at the end of the day, you've got to make your bed, and obviously with IMG coming in, the chances of Widnes ever getting back into the big time are non-existent.
Yeah, at the moment you'd say that they're properly struggling. It doesn't look good. I think you see the retention at the minute is a bit lackluster when you look at the fans on Twitter. And if they want to come and see Super League, I'm sure they don't want to go and watch Warrington. I'm sure they'd rather come down the road and watch us. Maybe
this is why we keep signing all these kids from Widnes, so the mums and dads buy tickets in the North Stand.
Possibly right. So.
Matt Whitley, good signing. Looking forward to seeing him next season. We've been professional and waited for the official announcement, unlike Sky Sports, who decided to tell everybody in the world for the last 3 months that he was going to be a Saints player next season, despite nobody officially telling them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Other re-signing news. Another one come out today. Ritson. He's been given a 2-year deal at the club. We're a little surprised at giving him 2 years rather than just another year to begin with.
Possibly, yeah, a little. I thought it might be another year and see how he goes in the early part of next year. I know he's obviously stepped up from being a part-time player to being full-time. one pre-season, one season, kind of massive learning curve for him. So I am hoping that this year he kind of mirrors the likes of Joe Batchelor, James Bentley, who had a season to kind of get used to the rigours of playing for Saints and then started making more appearances or being involved a little bit more. Even like, and I know he had NRL appearances, but Abbas Miski of Wigan, where he played London for a year, then did a season at Wigan where I think he only made about 8 or 9 appearances.
I think this season, Kev, I think he played 7 or 8 games this season at London. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I don't think he made an appearance in a Wigan shirt until round 9 this year.
Yeah, it's something like that. But these are examples that he could look at and potentially take little bits from. And I'm not negative necessarily about the 2-year deal. It just surprises me that you didn't know if they'd just hedge the bets and give him one. Obviously, they're seeing something in him, and they've got the trust in him that he is going to be good enough to play on that left wing when called upon.
I think the important thing, do you know what? We are going to do an episode on this later in the week regarding squad makeup and salary cap. Is although you know the length of the deal, you don't know the terms of it. For the money that we've got available on the salary cap, have we potentially fished around the market in that area and T. Ritson still come out as the best available? And I think that's what it comes down to. You don't know the terms of a deal. And you also don't know if we'd have offered him a year, if there was any other club who were going to offer him 2. So you have to, if you want to retain the player. As you say, this season was a learning curve for him. I don't particularly think we played to his strengths or any of our wingers' strengths in 2023. And you just hope if the style changes a little bit next season and he gets a little bit more room and a little bit more ball, that he can make that wing spot his own. But obviously at this moment in time, it's John Bennison as the number 5. It's still his shirt to lose.
Yeah, and hopefully a little bit more confidence and possibly nerves, because we know he's quick and he's been built up to be quick. We've seen that in spells, little bits where he's been covering and he's got back, and whether he's not made the tackle or he has covered nicely to get the ball. Hopefully all this will kind of come for him and he will get his chance. As you say, it's currently John Bennison's shirt. I would be surprised if we're not still in the market with Will Hopoate's salary cap and quarter place for some kind of centre/winger. Hopefully with a bit of pace, because it is what we're lacking in the backs. You'd say Jack Wellesby's the quickest in the 1-2-5 shirts at the moment. Ritson's probably up there with him, if not possibly a bit quicker in training, just with the way that the Saints players have been talking about him. So we do need a little bit more pace in that back line. It wouldn't surprise me if we're not kind of having a look in Australia to see if there is anything available. But I think fans have got to steel themselves for Saints not just bringing somebody in for bringing somebody in's sake. Absolutely.
And the last deal that was announced a couple of days ago was the retention of Sam Royle for 2024. I thought this was excellent news, and for me, it was an absolute no-brainer. When you're building a squad for 2024 in a salary cap sport, you just need players like Sam around the group. Obviously, his progression during the COVID period was a little bit stunted, and also the success of the team as well made the opportunities to break into it a little bit scarce. But he's been ultra professional throughout the age groups. When he's had any opportunities to come in and fill in, he hasn't let us down at all. And I thought he was beginning to develop in size as well, and bulk out, which is something that young back rowers and forwards take a little bit of time to do. Obviously, giving him a year, he's going to have ambition to be more than a squad player, and the length of the contract reflects that. It's his job now to kick on in 2024 for me, show that he should be in and around the 17 each week, prove he's worthy of a bigger or a longer deal. And for me, Joe Batchelor should be his role model. He made 4 appearances in 2019 and 2020, and many thought he wasn't part of the plan. And he's become one of our best, our most influential players.
Yeah. I think a lot of what you said there is absolutely right. You could even go back to Ritson and say, when you're building a squad, you need players who you trust in that squad. Sam's obviously one of them. He's captain Saints all the way through the age groups, and he's captain the first team. Yeah, that second row option is very, very congested. It really is. But as you say, it's on him now. No one else can make him be the best he can be. It's all on him. And if he can do it and he earns himself another deal, or he earns himself more appearances this year and he wants to stick around with Saints, great. If it then means that he's got to go somewhere else, fair enough. That's the nature of sport. But as you say, I think it's smart because you've got to keep a squad together. You can't just let everybody go and then bring all new in. It is not fantasy rugby league, as I'll probably say in the salary cap one that we do later in the week.
It's not fantasy rugby league, and it's not Hull FC.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've
got to keep consistency. You've got to have consistency.
I feel like we're touching on Friday's episode already, but if you want 5 or 6 new players every year, then you're relying on giving all of your squad 12-month or 2-year contracts. So you've got that massive turnover. Unfortunately, when you have success, you tie down your players to longer deals. We will go through it on Friday, so I won't go any further into it than that. But yeah, Sam, he's probably 6th or 7th in the pecking order for second rowers. It's his job to get himself into the top 5.
Yeah, it is. It is. And as you say, with him putting on a little bit of size, just hopefully take the handbrake off a little bit, link up with his centre a little bit. But that comes with playing a run of games with that same centre. You can't just expect him to come in and be, I don't know, like a Curtis Sirenen or a Lee Gilmore or someone like that straight away. He's got to have the time to play there. And if he gets his chance, it's up to him to keep hold of it.
Yes. Kevin, I notice you've got Do You Light Up My Senses framed for photo image designed by Don McCormack behind you.
Yeah.
Photos a disservice. Artwork. Hand-done artwork. It's looking beautiful. Resplendent above you.
Yes, it looks really good, doesn't it? I've had to relegate Roby for a bit. He might make an appearance somewhere else. I'm just giving him a rest while the season's done and he's retired.
Obviously, you've kept yourself in your jersey, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A narcissistic streak in me there, yeah.
The undroppable Kev Pender.
Yeah.
Right, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we will be back on Friday with an episode concerning Saints squad makeup and the 2024 salary cap. Catch you soon.